It's been 6 years since we've seen a manifest train through here, and it's been 1.5 years since Helene ravaged western North Carolina and East Tennessee. These are photos taken shortly after Hurricane Helene ravaged the area, destroying anything in its path. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people lost their homes, and some people would even lose their lives. But today marks a major milestone in restoring what Helene destroyed, restoring what it took from us. This is the first train to traverse the full AS line since September 26th, 2024. And I want to say thank you to RJ Corman, who repaired the line. Thank you guys so much for what you all did.
Goodbye all downtown. Oh, here it comes. I see the light. I see the light.
Alright, so this is Old Fort. This is about 45 minutes before the train got here. Um, and as you can see, there was a lot of people waiting to greet this train. And it was very surreal to see. Because again, this was the first manifest train to roll through here in 6 years. And this is the first train, other than the track geometry train, to go through Old Fort since Helene hit a year and a half ago. There were hundreds of people here. There were way more that gathered later, um, but it was very cool to see, and I got some really good shots in Old Fort. Y'all are gonna see. So this Old Fort, and this is where he would stop. And it was very cool to see him stop here. And so what they did here is the crew got out of the cab, and they did interviews there. They probably sat here for 45 minutes. I did not record them sitting here for 45 minutes. But there was a lot of YouTubers here. I mean, there was like 10. Some of them had really nice camera recording equipment, and I got to see Delay and Block Productions. If you know who that is, you know that I had a feeling he was going to be here. So at the time of recording, I don't think he's posted a video yet, but definitely go check out that channel. And he was the one who had the drone. There was a drone that was in the air. But the crew, I got to talk with some people who were working with RJ Corman. Some of their employees were there, and I got to talk to them, and I thanked them for all the work that they've done, because all of this was them. This was not Norfolk Southern's employees. While they did have a small hand in that, most of the work was done by RJ Corman. And I got to see some of the work that they did, and it was very cool to see what they did here. And this is a big moment in Old Fort's history and really Western North Carolina, because the CSX line was fixed many months ago, and Norfolk Southern was all the people who were working on the CSX one shifted over to Norfolk Southern, and this is also a big step in the right direction for passenger service. So this was a major milestone, and I think this actually means that we're going to start receiving manifests through here again, which we've not seen since 2020. The reason we stopped receiving manifest was a couple of reasons. Canton wound up shutting down. If you don't know what Canton is, it was a giant paper mill. And in Bridgewater, there's a wood chip mill that used to ship out all their wood chips by train. You know, you would see all these old Southern Railway wood chip cars that still said Southern on them. That was a really cool memory I had as a kid, but they do it all by trucking now because a big portion of their business was gone when Canton shut down. And then another reason is because of PSR. You know, they just ran the train somewhere else, and then they shut down Linwood Yard in 2020. Well, they didn't shut down the yard, they shut down the hump yard. But I've heard they're doing work at Linwood Yard. They're actually replacing all the track there and ties and everything there. So something is happening in Linwood Yard. Linwood Yard is close to Salisbury. It's a really big yard. It's one of the biggest in North Carolina. And was one of the only hump yards in North Carolina. But I hope this means we get manifest again, because, you know, it gets really repetitive seeing the same locomotives, same cars every week. I mean, I have nothing against P71 and its GP60s, but like, I want to see something different, and this reminds me of when I was a kid too, seeing these long trains. So that was what I did when I was a kid. I went and chased these with my grandparents. But I'm pretty darn sure we're going to start getting manifest again. Norfolk Southern was really hinting at it. They had a lot of really nice employees there today too. It doesn't make up for East Palestine, but, you know, it's a step in the right direction. You know, it's good publicity for them and all the towns and really Western North Carolina. Major milestone after Helene ravaged through here. You know, if you live anywhere in the Appalachian Mountains where Helene hit, you know what I'm talking about. There was a whole other world there whenever Helene hit, but there was hundreds of people here. I mean, there was people at every single crossing along this line. There was that many people. I've never seen so many people in my life filming a train, and I looked like I didn't know what I was doing, because, you know, my tripod is literally just a regular phone tripod. Everyone else had nice stuff. But I'll show you guys the next clip here. As you can see, there was lots of people who got photos with the locomotive, and, you know, it's sat here for a long time. I got to talk with some different YouTubers that were also here who were, you know, trying to catch them. There was a lot of people so a lot of us had like the same plan. We'd go to the most rural railroad crossing and think nobody would be there. Well, it turns out when everybody has that plan, there's a lot of people that actually show up there. So that happened in Bridgewater. There was a lot of people in Bridgewater. I don't think you guys saw it on camera, but there was 25 people there. And Bridgewater's really not even a town. But yeah, it was very, very cool to see. I mean, he literally just sat here blocking traffic for 45 minutes, but, you know, it was kind of cool.
Listen, I was looking.
It's an active road, everybody. Be careful.
She's a third grader. I know. She's so and tall. Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all. I know you're getting. Listen, you better hope you get Mr. Cunningham's side. See y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend.